Yeah, it looks like we're live on Standing on Business. Perfect. Awesome. Give everybody a couple seconds to tap in if they're going to tap in. To the YouTube, they get different types of notifications.
That's cool.
But yeah, if anything else,
ready.
Welcome back. I'm excited. I'm excited to have our guest here, and he's actually a good friend of mine, but also one of the higher ups in my old job, Petter Nissan. But ever since I left, he has elevated to a higher managing position of the entire operation, Petter Nissan, and someone I highly respect and find strong encouragement from, who even worked his way through attaining his business degree from the University of Fullerton, all while being a single father to his 9-year-old Josue. I'm excited to introduce our guest, Josue Talavera. Welcome, man.
Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to tell a little bit about yourself? Or?
About the entire time I've been in the career in the business, right? You would say the automobile industry. It was I can tell you exactly. It was a month before he was born. So he's 9. So I've been doing it for about 9 years now, and I like it.
Yeah, awesome. Anything you want to tell us a little about where you came from? Like, were you always a strong student throughout middle school and high school and stuff like that?
Well, I grew up in Paris most of my life, right? And no, so even though I did finish school at there was a peak in my time after 6th grade where I fucking hated it. I hated school. It was boring, and I wanted to do other things, and so I didn't finish 7th and 8th grade. I was in this program called non-promote program, I guess you could say, and those were
he was
people.
One of the bad kids.
Yeah, he was the bad boy.
I wouldn't say I was a bad boy. I just didn't care. I didn't want to do the schoolwork. I wanted to just chill and hang out and fun, not really worry about that kind of stuff. When that switch happened for me, I guess I would say was 9th grade year, about halfway in. I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Davis. And shout out to Mr. Davis.
Let's go if you're watching.
And I remember one day, so that program was actually kind of weird, right? So it basically worked out like this. Everybody who was in your first period, you would get up and migrate and go to your second period. And then you would stand up and you would go to third. Different teachers, right?
Yep.
Same students. Double blocked math, double blocked English.
Not a continuation school? Or was
Not a continuation school, no. And at first they told us that we were going to be in a gated area where we couldn't even go out and hang out with other people from the high
prison.
school. Kind of it was kind of like a little prison. It was it was a set of 4 classrooms, and it was all gated, blocked off.
Wow.
But they didn't end up going that route. They opened us up. We were able to roam through the campus like normal people, but we were in that program called non-promote. And I remember the first day of that English class, this guy was like, hey, there's a prediction that out of 48 of you guys, only about 4 are going to actually graduate high school. And, so it wasn't just with me. He actually cared about everyone else. And I remember one day, I was going to go to lunch. He stops me. Hey, I want to have a chat. I want to talk. So I'm like, okay, cool. Stay, talk, pulls out my SAT scores, proficient, advanced, proficient. And he just straight up asks hey, what the fuck are you doing in this program? You're not a dumb kid. And I really wasn't. Shit for me clicks pretty quick. You can kind of maybe just explain it to me once or twice. I try it, boom, I get it.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember, hey, your scores are here. Do you want to stay in this program or do you want to get out? Do you really want to keep wasting your time and take double blocked English, double math, or do you want to go out and have a cool elective, or do you want to go do something else? And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. And he goes, who the fuck are you trying to impress? And I'm like, nobody.
Kind of quick at a young age, huh?
Yeah. I was like, who the fuck am I trying to impress?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to impress anybody. And yeah, you know what? You're fucking right. Let's get me the fuck out of here.
You switch into overdrive. Or
quick.
Wow.
Quick.
At an 8th grade?
Ninth grade.
Okay,
Ninth grade, yeah. 9th grade, and about out of 48 of us, I think 12 were able to get out halfway through the year, and I remember upon graduation, he was there, and he comes up and he goes, they said you were predicted that only 3 were going to graduate high school, and I think it was like about 35 of us that finished.
You guys proved them wrong, huh?
Yeah, he did, and that's what he said. He's like, hey, I just want to, I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna, see what I can do, and yeah, he a lot of us, it wasn't just me, but he said he took his time with a lot of students.
It's
and
an impactful
Wow.
teacher.
Yeah, it is impactful. And then
a mentor.
Yeah.
so I finished school, right? Started working, held a couple of different jobs at warehouses. I worked for Coca-Cola for a while, and then how I started into the business was my dad bought a car, and I remember the salesman we had only spoke English. He didn't speak any Spanish at all, so I was like the one doing the negotiation, and he was like, "Do you sell cars? Or what do you do right now? Like, you must be in sales." And I'm like, "Nah, dude. Like, I operate a fucking forklift. I'm Big Five, dude." I was like, "Nah."
Before selling cars.
Yeah. I had
How many jobs did you have before selling cars?
I had about 3. So I was a merchandiser for Coca-Cola, forklift driver at Big Five, and then I was also a forklift driver at Ross Warehouse.
Didn't always have it figured out. Didn't always have the promising kind of future in car sales. You just, like you said, it just started from that.
Yeah, so I remember when I did work at Big Five, you would take like turns, right? So you were a forklift driver, then you had to load the shipments. And I remember one time I was just sitting there, and it was fucking hot, dude. It was like summer, and it gets hot in those containers. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, damn, do I really want to do this for fucking $12 an hour for the rest of my life? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Breaking your body down.
I remember.
Breaking your body down. You're miserable in the hot
for sure.
warehouse, Absolutely. Working with your body instead of working with your mind, right?
Exactly.
Working harder instead of working smarter. That's what I always have done. I've always worked harder.
Oh, especially in the summer heat. And you're in those containers, and there's a little small fan at the edge. After a while, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I here?
Literally, yeah.
And I remember actually that same teacher, like, he would constantly like keep up with me every year, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, wow. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And he's like, oh, you worked the warehouse too. And I remember he was telling me, he's like, it's not, it's not terrible. Like, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna find a way. And I remember when I was talking to that guy at the dealership, when my dad bought his car, he goes, hey, come on down. We're hiring for detailers, right? And eventually, if you want to move up and sell cars, you can. Nice. I went in, I applied there. They told me to come back. So I don't know if he was just kind of like, hey, let's tell this kid this so that we can close the sale with his dad, and his dad buys a car, and we just like, boot him, like boot him out or whatever. And I walked across the street to the Nissan store, and I remember I spoke with a GM named Johnny Sidker, who, shout out if you watch this. I appreciate that guy a lot. And
what's up, Johnny?
Right? Yeah. And I remember he was like, hey, man, like, I came in a suit and tie, not a suit and tie, but a dress up, a button up, and a tie. And he goes, hey, you came in to apply for a detailer position with your resume, a button up, a tie, and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man. He's like, damn, well, I'm impressed. He's like, I'm impressed. He's like, but I see you more as a car salesman rather than a detailer. No, I'm shy. I'm timid. I don't like talking to people.
Yeah.
But, and these are those things where people see things in you that you don't even really see in yourselves. So I know he saw something in me where he was like, hey, you know what? This guy, came in and applied without knowing anybody here, because I didn't know anybody at that dealership.
Right.
Just walked in and asked for a job and came in ready to go.
And looking sharp,
Yeah, that's all.
Took the initiative yourself rather than like, I don't really care. I'm gonna come in with the whatever shirt I have.
Yeah, and some people, they're like that. They're like, hey, you know what? Like, let me just walk into this place, and what does this company owe me? I mean, nothing, right? They don't owe you anything. So I remember I sat with him for a little bit, talked. He gave me a shot at sales, and I've been doing it ever since. Nice.
Okay, so you started sales in the car business before you even applied for college? Like, you weren't even...
Yeah,
wow.
So
you had to be college educated to get into cars, basically.
No, so I just got my license at the DMV. I did a live scan, and, I started selling cars right away. I think about maybe 3 years into selling cars, I noticed, hey, you know what? I'm working my regular 5 days. But all I'm doing Saturday and Sunday is my 2 days off.
Yeah.
We don't get Saturday, Sundays off in the industry.
Yeah.
But my 2 days off, I'm just kind of like, okay, well, what am I doing with my time?
Yeah.
Right? What am I doing to get myself ahead from the other guys? And I wasn't really doing anything. I'm just, hanging out, drinking, going out, having fun, not doing anything to...
Doing well for yourself, but kind of elevated your life, but kind of plateauing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just stagnant. Like, now I'm selling cars. Like, what else am I doing? So I'm like, hey, you know what? I can do other things on my time off. And that clicked one day when I remember I was working at Riverside Nissan at the time. And at that dealership, you're just basically standing outside waiting for customers to come in, right? Like,
huh?
yeah, you're just waiting. Like, okay, cool, boom. I see that customer over there by the Centras. Let me go talk to him.
Yeah.
Cool. Walk over there, and that's all you did. You just stood. You would stand outside. Sorry, you would stand outside.
Stand on business.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
You're standing outside the car lot, right? The dealership, waiting for these customers to come, and praying to God that you get the right customer.
Oh man, yeah.
At the right car.
Would you say a lot of luck comes into play when you're in that?
A lot of different factors, I'm sure, right?
A lot of factors.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of luck that comes into play, but also you need to know what exactly it is you're doing, right? I mean,
right. And to read the customer as well.
Oh
right?
yeah, reading the customer. Luck does play a part in it, but there's an acronym for what luck stands for, and it stands for labor under the correct knowledge, right? So
That's
people got to
awesome.
make their own luck. So yeah, luck does come into play, but however, if you're working your deal right and you can get the customer to like you, because the product is everywhere, right? Even like here within a 40-mile radius, right? There's Metro Nissan of Redlands, you got Raceway, you got San Bernardino, you got us in Hemet right there, and we all sell the same shit.
Yeah.
Right? So
definitely comes down to what sets you apart from, or why should they buy from you?
yeah, why should they buy from you? But I remember one day I was just sitting there and I'm like, damn, like it's 100 degrees out. I'm just waiting for a customer to come on down. Like, what else could I be doing? And I remember that day is where something clicked, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I can talk to my boss and figure out a schedule where I can get like Tuesdays and Thursdays off, or Mondays and Wednesdays, and go to school on my off days and learn more stuff, right? Because we're constantly learning. Like, nobody knows it all. Even like me to the day, like I still take a couple classes here and there, just to keep myself up.
Yeah,
you know.
up. Yeah,
and that's what I was just telling him the other day. Like, I'm just like, even right now that I'm a sales manager, we were just having this conversation yesterday where I'm like, hey, you know what, dude? I think I want to go back and go to the local community college and take a couple like foreign language, right? Foreign language,
Dude,
like foreign
awesome.
languages, and it's always, if you can keep your mind busy, a lot of things can come naturally, right?
Yeah, and adding tools to the tool belt, man.
Yeah.
Constantly adding, constantly learning. That's
Once you,
beautiful.
when you stop, I've heard this before, is when you stop learning is when you start dying.
Ooh,
That's good.
Yeah.
some gems in here.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask you, is like, being that you went to college, were you like set up for it, or were you encouraged for it? Like, I mean, better yet, I mean, were you set up for it? Did you have a college fund? Did you,
No, actually, I just kind of went for it. I didn't have anybody that was like, hey, this is the programs app for business, or this is what you got going on. And what's funny is, actually, when I first applied to college, I applied for administration of justice. Like, I don't even think I wanted to stay in car sales, or business or anything like that. I wanted to be
what kind of job would you get with that?
I honestly wanted to be a forensic scientist, right?
Cool,
Those people that go into the crime scenes, and then they, oh shit, there's a hair strand right there, like in the cartoons, or like in the, and they're like, oh, let me figure this DNA stuff out, or whatever it is,
the semen in the carpet.
or something like that, like something cool like that. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then, the car industry is a very interesting job, because you're dealing with different types of people that are in different times of their lives, and it's interesting. You definitely meet some fucking characters.
It goes from, some people look at it as a job, or some people find a career in it, and I mean, it pays enough to really make it a career, for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's really interesting how you said that there. And I did want to ask too, like, did you know, like, when you started college, there's a career that you're after? Did you have that all planned out? You kind of said, like you said, you just did criminal justice or
Yeah, so I think I only probably took like 2 classes of administration and justice. I took criminology, and I think the other one was a forensic science class. But after 2 classes, I was like, yeah, nah, like I'm a people
not for
person.
me, yeah.
People person. I like people, and
Yeah.
You were at the same time learning a lot about yourself as salesman.
as a salesman,
Yeah.
Yeah, as a salesman, you gotta have like thick skin as a salesman. Some people
Yeah.
are really nice, and some people are complete assholes.
Absolutely. How old were you at during this time that you were kind of figuring out your path during school?
I'd want to say I was about 22.
22?
Yeah, 22.
Nice. Okay.
I was 22 at the time.
Right at that prime age where you're figuring out a
Still
lot.
first time father of a 2-year-old at the time, basically, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So there was, that these decisions were kind of tough because, it's like, okay, when you have a kid, it's not like, hey, let me go do this,
Mhm.
let me just quit my fucking job and
Yeah. Live free like a butterfly.
no, you
Yeah.
can't. You
Yeah.
got to provide, and you gotta, there he is right there.
Yeah,
You
there's the
gotta-
kid.
yeah, you gotta-
Always gonna be there. For
yeah,
sure.
always
Yeah.
gotta be there. Even here, like today, I gotta bring him.
Yeah.
So those decisions are definitely hard to make, but they're necessary.
What
Mhm.
role do you think consistency and discipline played in that?
So obviously, I'm the type
If
of
any,
person. Yeah,
right?
you got to be very well disciplined, right? You
yeah.
have to be very well disciplined because some people can like start something and then midway through it,
Yep. That's what I'm working on right now, man, honestly.
I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired of it, and
Yeah, I'm tired of it
believe
as well.
me, there was days where, even as a salesman, I definitely worked a lot of more hours as manager, but even as a salesman, like you were still working a lot of hours. Like, it'd be let's say your shift was 9 to 5 at it never fails at 4:59.
Yeah.
a customer walks in,
Yep, you're there for an extra
and you
3
need to be
hours.
disciplined. Yep, you need to be disciplined enough to say, okay, I could either go home right now and pretend I didn't see them. Or I'm gonna go grab that fucking customer and make some money.
There you go.
So what do? Because you have your child, that, let's say if you have a set schedule with a babysitter or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was never the case with me. Thank God I have my mom. She's
Yeah.
helped me out a lot with my son. So, if I had to stay extra at work, like definitely there, can't do it without family, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Family definitely plays a big role. But yeah, it was always like stuff like that where you had to make those decisions. And if you weren't disciplined, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. It's
do you
easy
do?
to say,
Yeah.
like on one coin, like I'm going to school and this isn't going to be forever for me. I don't have to get that next customer.
Yeah, let me turn the blind eye to this guy. I
And
want to go
then-
home, you
Yeah.
know?
At the same time, it's easy for you to be like, I don't need to go to school because I'm making money, but you still stay disciplined and consistent enough to do both.
To do
and you
both.
didn't drop, you didn't drop the ball. I mean, you might have dropped the ball on some deals, but I know you
Right.
don't really drop the ball too often.
I try not to, but yeah, you do eventually. Like,
Yeah.
ego comes into play, and you can't have an ego.
Yeah.
Like, period, you really can't.
You have to put it to the side sometimes.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta like bite,
Yeah, definitely. That's strong. I that's why I say I really look up to you and I really respect your hustle and your grind because, again, you can easily quit. You could have said, I'm good off of school. I don't need to finish this. You saw it through. Not only that, you saw through every aspect of building money and making it for
Yeah,
yourself.
and one thing I did like about going to school and like taking these certain classes is that you start questioning like the dealership, right? Like, okay, psychology comes into effect when you're talking to people,
Mhm.
right? Reading body language, like
Yeah.
all those things are very important, and you don't have to go to college to learn those things, but they do teach it there.
It helps.
So it was pretty cool that like I'm taking a course and I'm like, oh fuck, like I can apply this at the dealership. Right?
That's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone at that point.
Yeah. So there was definitely a lot of stuff that they taught there that, I was able to take back to. I was gonna say back home. Fuck.
Yeah.
Right? That's how much time I'm there.
At that home.
Yeah, no, you gotta take it back to the store and
Back to the
apply.
bed, huh?
Yeah, and apply the things that you learned. Because
Yeah.
it's
That's one thing that is kind of that might be underrated about school is that there's a lot of life skills that can be taught.
Yeah.
Some people probably have a bad attitude about it or more so negative
Mhm.
that they don't take those lessons that are being
Yeah.
taught to be applied to real life. But at the same time, you can learn these things on the street too.
It
But
must be perception a little bit too, right? Because like it's so easy to be like, oh, okay, this is just my school. Let me not even think about applying this at work. But you're just like looking for any way to improve your sales at work as well. So you're like, oh, I could apply this. Like this is a gem, you know?
Straight up.
That's perception for sure, man.
A lot of people just think that, hey, you know what? Like, if I go to school and if I do all these things, I'll be successful. And that's not true, you know? It's not true at all. Like, that's cool. Like, it's great. You have that. But at the same time, you have to still be an innovative thinker.
Yes.
You still have to be a hustler, you know?
Absolutely.
You can't, like, just, hey, I finished school. Like, okay.
Yeah. Now the rest of my
who's
life
going to
is-
hire me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really
Well, I
just-
finished school, yeah.
nobody
yeah.
owes you a thing.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time. Nobody is coming to save you.
Let's go.
If you work, you have to have that hard work, that hard effort, the time and consistency behind it too.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think that's great. I definitely also wanted to ask, me knowing you, you know, I've seen you operate. I see how you work. I worked with you obviously for a few years. I noticed how you're very organized, more organized than almost anybody I know, really. What encouraged you to be so organized, and where did you develop your organization skills?
Organization's important, right? I developed these skills by myself. Like, nobody... Actually, hold on. Let me retrace that thought. I did have a good mentor, right?
Before I let you finish real quick, this guy is the type of guy with the tabs on each folder. He's got a folder of tabs, and it's like each subject is in each tab. And that's what I mean by organized.
Yeah.
Super
Cool.
organized. But
organization is key, right? And, you know, shout out to Efren, because Efren Caldera, you know, he trained me in finance and,
Strong dude too,
taught me, like, you know, how to be organized. And
I do take that back. He's actually pretty organized too.
That's
no,
a skill set you
yes.
have to actually develop. You weren't just like born with this gift of organization or skills to, you know, you had to develop it and work on it.
Yeah, so yes and no. I think if you can, it is kind of self-taught, I guess I would say, in a way, because he taught me how to be organized at the job.
Yes.
While balancing work and school, I had to be organized myself.
It was on your shoulders,
right?
Yeah.
But, you know, there's when somebody has a good process, right, and they're training you, and you can pick and choose what it is that you like.
Yes.
You know, I can train you a certain way. He could train you a certain way.
And I can
Maybe
grab both.
yeah, you pick and choose whatever it is that you like, right?
Yeah, that's
you
beautiful.
don't have to use it all. But you know, he did show me some things, and even like today when I train people, I'm always like, hey, you know what? When you're gonna start something, finish it.
Yeah.
You know, have things in a certain place.
Sure.
That way, you know, it's and even when I was training Kyle, you open up the drawer here,
Mm-hmm.
DMV paperwork and you know, bank
Everything.
docs. It's all right there. So when you're in, and I'm like when I would type a deal, sometimes I just open the jacket and I wouldn't even be looking. I would just pull papers like this and boom.
That's good.
Naturally.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
it's in its
like
place.
a reflex, like a reflex. You just
Yeah. Not only does it look that much more professional seeing that as sitting on the other side of the desk, right?
Yeah.
But it helps you like just be speedy, be quick, be on your toes and whatnot. We do have some chats from Miss Lupe Miramontes. She asked, "What can you teach your kids that you learned to make it easier for them in the future?"
What else does it say? Do you regret?
Do you regret leaving that path? Do you regret leaving like I guess the warehouse jobs or whatnot?
No, I don't regret those jobs at all, because those jobs were just, you know, no
Building
disrespect
blocks.
to like anybody who works there, but
Mhm.
I hated that fucking job.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm sure everyone does.
I didn't get no medical, no dental,
Yep.
no 401k, 5 vacation days, and you were literally like, I know in every job you're just a number, but
Yeah.
here they just didn't give a fuck.
Straight
You
cop,
really
straight.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can really feel it that you're
You-
just a number.
Yeah, you couldn't bring anything. I remember one time there was an argument between a warehouse employee and a supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy literally tells him like, dude, you know, I'll have you replaced. So if you want to just leave, go ahead and leave. This guy left. By the time lunch break came,
Somebody had
the
a job
agency sent another guy, and we were already training.
wow.
Same
an
day.
an hour later, like I'm like,
even-
what?
That's pretty gnarly, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
But that's the
crazy.
reality of life, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess the things that you went to school for. Do you regret deviating from your path or not going towards pursuing, I guess, criminal justice?
No, because I like my job that I have right now.
Okay.
Right, and like right now, the classes I was taking was like, you know, marketing, business management, the Excel spreadsheets. Like it was like intro to business model, and you know, I just filmed a commercial literally like a couple days ago, you know.
Go.
That's,
Yeah, so-
dude, you're good on the camera.
Yeah,
You're good on
yeah.
the
So
camera, for sure.
you know,
Awesome.
and that's something that again nobody taught me, you know. And I remember the marketing guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, do you want to film this ad?" And I'm like, and again, right here comes a decision: do I want to try to learn a new skill, or do I want to be that guy that just says, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to
I'm
come
comfortable
out.
in my square.
I'm comfortable.
I'm good. Like, why the heck am I gonna go on camera? Nah, fuck that, dude. What are we filming? Right?
Let's try.
What are we gonna film? Let's go. Let's go.
I'm in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm afraid to get punched in the face, but I'll go
Yeah.
get punched in the
Yeah.
face.
And I remember like right before I looked at him and I said, "Hey, listen,
Yeah.
if you want me to do this, we're going all in.
Yeah. Straight up.
We're going all in. I'm gonna give you some ideas and we're gonna fucking run."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we talked a bit about on that too, how fear can hold people back from
For sure.
so many things,
Yeah,
right? Like the fear of failure, the fear of just looking dumb or whatever, you know. Like
When you
The
have the
unknown.
confidence, you take that step forward.
yeah,
The unknown.
Definitely.
that's awesome. That's tough.
What was another question on there? It said,
How can you or what can you teach your kids that you learned to make it easier for them in the future? From what you learned maybe from you going to school and like from up to where we're at right now in your story.
I guess find a good company. You know,
Mhm.
you don't. When I was at the warehouse, there was a bunch of people that were there for 10+ years, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're still there.
Yeah.
You know,
About
and
10 years later, huh?
yeah,
Still
they
there,
can't
yeah.
figure it out like to get out. You know, so
Yeah, man.
I guess change is good. Change is very important. Like,
Mhm.
don't get stagnant. Don't get stuck. Like,
Even if it's uncomfortable
Yeah.
at first,
Get
change
out.
is always good, man. Yeah.
And I guess this is a good point that I kind of just want to circle back to. We kind of already touched on it, kind of already mentioned some things about it, but do you have to be a professional to join the car business or be in the car business, car salesman? Do you have to like you obviously didn't have a degree or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is it something that you have to like really be up high standards and stuff like that?
I don't think so. I think anybody can go in there and jump in there. You just have to be a self-starter.
Mhm.
You have to be self-motivated, right?
Mhm.
So actually, when I interview people, that's one of the questions I ask. I know it's a very basic question, but I always ask, like, why choose a career in automotive? Like, if you're brand new to sales, like, why are you picking selling cars?
Yeah.
And like, what motivates you, right?
Yeah.
And the answer I get 99% of the time is family is what motivates me, and
Perfect,
that's 100% true. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my biggest motivator is right here.
Absolutely.
Come on, Josh.
Come
Say
say
hi. Come say hi.
Number
bro.
one motivator. Let's
This is
go.
number one motivation right here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's awesome,
Round of
man.
applause, man. Definitely. No, and it's like you said. Some people might come in and say, "Well, I really like cars." They don't know what they're getting themselves into and things like that. Get that prime out of here, Jake Paul. We're coming for you, man.
Yeah, we're practicing for
Yeah.
you, Jake Paul.
Yeah. Just kidding. But anyways, it is really tough to be the self starter and that's kind of the question. The answer I was really looking for is like, yeah, you don't have to be professional, but you do have to have that luck, like you said, the knowledge under the correct. Say it again. The
Labor under correct knowledge.
yeah.
Labor under correct knowledge. That's a great acronym, right?
Yeah,
That's
acronym,
great,
huh?
man. I'm actually gonna write that down.
Yeah,
actually.
luck. And it's true. Luck, it comes in all different forms. But if you're
Yeah.
ready, it comes with a matter of luck and preparation.
Yeah.
You know, you get that lucky opportunity, but if you don't really know how
Fail
to
to
take advantage,
prepare. That's so good.
if you're
man.
not prepared and you don't know how to take advantage of that opportunity,
Wow.
you're gonna flop.
Yeah.
You're gonna
That's why
flop.
practice, I guess, is so like crucial. You know what I'm saying? You're practicing for that lucky opportunity, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
Would you say being coachable, is that something you maybe look for when you're looking for people?
Yeah,
or
when
is
I'm-
that-
Yeah, I think obviously someone that's like coachable and because you get those people that come in, like let's say you get an outside hire, right?
I know
The
it
guy's
all.
already been exactly.
I know it all.
I fucking know it all. I
big
fucking
dick,
hate
you
those.
know it all.
I fucking hate.
What did I tell you
those.
yesterday when we talked? You can't teach old dogs new tricks.
Yeah,
can't.
that's true,
And
man.
in the
yeah.
car business, they call us car dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you really can't, you know, and yeah, somebody who's coachable, somebody who listens, and that actively listens, right? Because you could be talking to somebody and they could be fucking nodding off,
Yeah,
but the people
yeah.
who are engaging and asking questions and like those types of things, those are the people that I like, the guys
Yeah.
that want to listen, you know, the
Mhm.
ones that are there and
Yeah. They're trying to actively see what you're doing and apply it to their own success,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever. Yeah, like that's a big thing that I take. I don't want to say pride in, but I don't know, a lack of a better word, I'll say pride. I take pride in being very coachable. I show up to a new job, even though if I do have experience, teach me your way. Teach me how you want me to do things, you know? Like, I love it. And
I
'cause it
love
goes a
Jay
long
because
way.
he is hella dependable in that aspect. honestly, like, you might be pissed off at me when I'm telling you or pointing you in the direction, but you're like, all right, dude.
Yeah. I'm willing to try. That's because, like, I do know there's more than 10 ways to skin a cat, or whatever this old saying goes. And if you're able to teach me something, an easier way to do something, or a more effective way to do something, who am I to be so stuck in my ways? I think I learned a lot of that from my dad, because he is the opposite of that. He's like, this way is my way, you do it this way, or whatever, you know. Which is, it's good to an extent, because, like, obviously systems and routines, they work, you know, they work for a reason, but you got to be willing to open your mind sometimes too to learning new things, or trying new things, at least in my opinion.
It's just about learning new things, always learning, always growing.
I'm a fan of learning.
I guess just to kind of ask, I know it's kind of something also we've touched on a little bit, but how much, because it's not an answer of did you struggle, but how much did you struggle being a first-time father? You know, sales isn't the easiest job, and then also taking on college.
And a young father as well. Like, let's not, like, touching on that, you know, pretty young.
No, there was definitely a struggle, you know, and I don't want to get too much into it, but, you know. Like, oh my God, I fucking hated it.
Man.
I'm like, fuck, man.
How am I supposed to do this?
Not over now, you know what I mean? But look at you, you know what I mean? You're sitting, I'm sure when you're sitting up at that desk, behind the tower, that's what they call the sales manager's desk.
That's
the tower.
The tower.
And you're clicking away and clicking deals over, and you're working on 3 or 4 deals. You know one of them's going to make you some money for the day. I'm sure it feels good. And then you got your son. He's, you know, strong-looking young man. He's you know, healthy as well. So
it definitely was a struggle, you know. I mean, the long hours, and the long hours at school, the long hours at home, the long hours at work. I remember one class in particular that was like tough, and that was business calculus. I hate that class.
It'd be tough for anybody.
No, and I remember, you know, the first day the teacher goes, she's Russian. She goes, raise your hand if you haven't taken a math class in like the last year. Boom, like pretty much everyone, right? What about like the last like 2 years?
Right. Oh, damn, the more hands go up.
5 years, like only one person. Anybody here over 5?
Haven't gone to school.
8 years.
8 years. Ooh, we're rusty.
8 years, and she goes, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna take a little short quiz, right? And we'll see how you go."
Yeah, kind of see where you're at.
Yeah. We took the quiz. It was 15 questions. She's like, "Look at your quiz. You know, if you missed more than 5, please stand up." Boom. Okay. How many did you get right? 2. And she goes, "Yeah, I think you might want to take another class."
Oh, straight like
She's
that.
like, "I think you may want to go back and take intermediate algebra, then come back here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck. I mean, if I do that, I'm going to have to wait a whole last year to be able to reapply to go from the community college to the university. So I'm like, no, heck no, I can't do that.
Yeah, waste of time almost.
Yeah. Every day I would be in this, so you had work, right? He was in school, and I would just sit in this thing called the math lab, and I would be in there for like 4 hours just
grinding,
rereading everything that I just learned the previous day.
Yep.
And I passed with like a B-, you know.
That's
it wasn't a good score.
I want to tell our audience for a quick second, if you ever think you have it tough, rewatch that clip, rewatch this part right here. There's almost nothing, like, it's pretty tough to have to operate it.
Yeah.
Sales in itself, for me, I struggled, and I'm sitting here like, dude, I complain so much. Like, this guy's has
no, I mean, so my day,
out for him.
Here's what my day looked like when I was in school.
Yeah, it's here, yeah.
So Monday, wake up at like 6:30, 7, take him to school, come back home, get ready, get to work, be at work at 9 a.m. Right? I'm at work from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's like 12 hours, right? Sometimes even longer.
Oh,
right?
man,
I don't leave until the last customer leaves.
Absolutely.
This is during the time that I was a finance manager.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday, here we go. Bam. We go again. We do it all over again. Wednesday, drop him off. I'm at school from, 7 to about maybe 1:30.
Yeah.
Go pick him up. We go back home, study.
Yep.
Thursday, same thing. Friday, boom, back to work. And it was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough. I did want to quit. And I probably did quit every day.
Oh, man, yeah.
You know?
Quit every day. I felt that. Yeah, absolutely. Now, did you have any personal time during these, when you're grinding, like, are you able to touch, like, was it less important to you to, like, take personal time for maybe your health or your just like your mental health, right? To like just kind of like, dude, I'm working too much. Let me take a day off or ever like or anything like that. Or you were just like, I gotta grind it out right now.
Grinding was pretty much like all everything, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to my girlfriend. She's probably watching the show right now.
Let's go.
But
what up, Wendy?
we definitely
comments.
we definitely went through some struggles because of work, and it's like I gotta make time for
the missus,
myself right at school. I gotta make time for work. I gotta make time for her. I gotta make time for this guy over here.
Yeah.
I gotta make time for the family. You gotta do a bunch of stuff, and organization ties back into time management, right? You gotta be able to give everybody a little bit of time.
Yeah.
If you don't, this falls apart, or this falls apart, or everything comes crashing down.
I was gonna say, if one of those things do fall apart, then it'll directly affects other things, right? Like,
for sure.
If you lose something, then you're not your best self at work, and that you see, like, that's something that I've noticed for my own personal life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and actually, my old boss again, Efren, right? Every time, like when you had a struggle at home, every time we got into an argument, hey, leave it at the curb.
Leave it at the curb, yeah.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
It's not, bro. No.
I mean, hey, it's
really
not
not
as easy as it sounds. Yeah, but it's the truth, dude.
But
It's
you
the
gotta
truth.
do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. And at first, fuck no, it's tough.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that I wear my emotions on my shoulders.
Brother, me too. Yeah. No, honestly. So
If I'm
so
pissed,
give me a
Not
tip.
just on the
Yeah.
sleeves. They're sitting right here.
They're right there.
So, yeah, help me, 'cause
Yeah, they really are.
That's something I actually do struggle with currently. Is like if I'm fighting with a girlfriend or going through stuff like in my personal life, it's hard for me to just be so focused on work. And I don't know if it's because I feel things or I wear my emotions so. I don't know. So like, what maybe is a tip that you can directly pass down to me? Anything, if you know off the top of your head.
I guess the most important thing is phone's always on silent.
There you go.
Phone's always on silent.
That's
Notifications
my problem, bro.
are silenced to certain like apps, right? Like social media apps.
Yeah.
And the reason why is
The
because
devil.
once I get in and I'm doing something, boom. If my phone goes off, my attention span and nowadays because of phones and how fast internet is,
Yeah, bro.
attention spans are really small, right?
Oh
Boom.
my gosh.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Exactly,
Boom.
yep.
Notification, yeah.
Why is this person taking so fucking
I
long
feel
to
like we're
text me
missing
back?
out or something if
Yeah.
we don't see it right away, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Push notifications are, I think I read it in a book. This is the first thing you want to eliminate is when they're getting straight notified to your phone, especially social media. It can always wait if it's on social media, no matter what it is. If it's a message on social media, it can definitely wait.
Yeah.
Everything is
Clock
like
your work days,
everything's like wired in, right? Like you got your phone that gives you your notifications. If you got a smartwatch, boom,
Yeah.
you feel the vibration
Literally,
here.
bro. There's
Yeah.
they make it like they make it so hard too. Just,
Right.
But
They want you because that's
tough.
where
that's reality.
big businesses are making their money. They want you to be focused on.
Yeah, they want you to be on their apps. They want you to be absolutely. I
Yeah.
get that, but
Yeah.
so that's. All right, I'm gonna apply that, man. I'm gonna check it out.
Turning off notifications for
Yeah.
everything. Not having it in your computer, right? Because if you got this silence, you got this silence, and then you're working on your computer, and boom, it pops up there. The urge is gonna come back,
dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. I guess they say, huh?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Another thing I would probably say is staying busy. That's very important.
Yes.
And I don't want to get too much into religion a lot,
Okay.
but there is a biblical verse, and it says, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So what does that mean? It means if you're just fucking chilling at home, you're depressed, you're going to cook up some stupid ass ideas.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Devil's work, man. Yeah, so
Yeah.
keep your hands busy. Keep
Keep your hands moving.
Yeah, and
Effectively
different.
towards something that you're actually after, rather than like my hands are busy rolling a joint.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know me
It's-
too well.
It's the same thing. It's the
Or
same
what happens,
thing.
you're having a drink with the guys, and you guys are just chilling, and,
Yeah.
you guys run out of shit to say. Hey, what if we go fuck shit up?
Yeah. I know. Throw shit off the porch.
Yeah. Super true.
That's normally what happens. So
That's crazy, man. Yeah,
That's powerful.
I like that. I'm gonna apply it directly, because like I was saying, that's something that I do catch myself doing a lot of the times. Like I catch myself ruining opportunities sometimes because I'm not fully focused on what I need to be. Leave it at the curb. I'm gonna take that with me.
thick skin, thick skin.
Yeah.
We did touch about this a little bit, but going back into the business, what encouraged you to climb the ladder? Why did you want to go from? I mean, you skipped one step of the business from going to porter to salesperson right away. But why, like, once you're in the business and you were working on the degree, like I said, it's easy to just be like, I'm working on a degree. I don't need to work so hard here. What made you want to go and what is your end goal?
What really pushed me to like just keep moving up the ranks, obviously is like it's all monetary, right? Money, right? You wanna see. I'm the type of guy. I want it all. You know?
Yeah.
I want even like right now. I don't have a void, right? I have a truck. I got a car. I have a 4x4 vehicle.
Let's go.
A street bike. A quad. I want more.
Absolutely, yeah.
I want a super bike. You know. I want a big ass truck.
Yeah, a boat next.
I want a fucking Yukon. I don't know why, bro. I only have one kid.
Always want more.
Yeah, I don't need a big ass SUV.
I only have one kid.
Right? But if I can get it,
have 12 passengers. Let's get it.
It's just, you know, and I don't want to sound like egotistical or like, you know, like I don't know how to say it. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Full of myself, right? But if you could get it, wouldn't that be
Why
nice?
not? Absolutely, yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I don't think there's something wrong with wanting nice things for yourself, especially if you have it in you to
get them.
Absolutely, you should use that to your advantage because
that brings up another good question I wanted to ask is what number on your on your salary or in your bank or what do you think describes wealthy and being the richest person you can be? Like, is it a number? Is it a number per hour? Is it a number in your bank account?
I don't think it's a number. I think the coolest thing is like getting home and having like you got your nice cars, you got your nice house, you got your nice family, you know, you're healthy. Those are the things that are important to me.
Those are the things that matter, bro.
That's an honest answer. It's not like the BS, like hearing the birds chirp outside. You know,
and because like you said, the number one motivating factor in like 99% of people that you interview or whatnot is
your family, huh?
Absolutely, brother. And I like that. I love that answer.
Like, how sick would it be to just like eat your breakfast, fucking on the second floor of your house, overseeing the ocean?
Yeah, with your family,
right? With your family, there,
That's motivation right there. That's definitely motivation.
I love that.
I guess just figuring out when is enough. Do you feel like there's what is your enough? When is it that you can say I've made it? When do you think?
I think the day where you could just buy, you know, not wherever, right? Because everybody has limitations, but the days where you're just kind of like, okay, like let's go get this. You know,
without you're not thinking even, about it too much.
You're not really like looking at it. Okay, it's not gonna really affect me.
I'm gonna be short on rent next month if I get.
You know, like
the security, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Does your security come from the job that you have to clock back into to continue making that money, or where does do you feel like you'd have that security and that feeling if I made it, like I can pay for this right now, but I am gonna have to clock back into work tomorrow?
Yeah. No, that's true, and you know, we were having this conversation yesterday to where I said how sick would it be if we can develop like a business model to where we don't even have to show up and like do these things. We're just at the computer plugging all this stuff in and boom, have everybody else do the shit for you.
At the pool with the computer, almost, you know, working from Mexico or working from wherever, just working from
out in the Caribbean or something. But
that would be beautiful.
You know,
I wouldn't go to Mexico first. I'd go probably the Bahamas or something.
Yeah. The coolest thing would be like to be right? To be like an octopus, right, and having all your tentacles like work for you.
That's
right.
That's okay. Kiabe, our last guest. Shout out Kiabe.
Shout out Kiabe.
I got this guy that does this for me. I got this guy that does that, and it all flows together. Like that would be sick. Like your tentacles are out doing your stuff.
Scaling and that's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess I have one more question that would really help out anybody that's probably pursuing sales or pursuing, you know, their own career in because it is important. Confidence is important. What are some tips you might have for someone that's more of an introvert or maybe even more, you know, less confident in public speaking?
The first thing I think would say is you can tell an introvert by looking at them, right? So changing your appearance would be good. Looking like a professional, you know?
There you go.
Smelling like a professional, meaning like make sure you smell good, make sure you look good. Once you start doing those things and it just comes naturally.
You become professional.
Yeah, it comes naturally. Yeah, like
that's awesome.
You know, you could, like I said, you could tell somebody's an introvert.
Yeah.
And you could tell who's an extrovert.
Yeah.
Right? And just changing your appearance, right? Not that it's a bad thing, but like if you do want to, and that's okay because some people are, you know, introverts, and that's fine. But like if you do want to change, then you got to change yourself, right? You got to change how you look. You know, you got to change your mindset.
Yeah.
All that stuff needs to change.
You have to change. Yeah.
Or change to where your job and your life revolves around you being to yourself and working and operating alone.
To the introverts and all the people who maybe they're seeing this for the first time, they're like, maybe I am an introvert and I do want to change. Any advice? Because like maybe you didn't believe in yourself until that teacher brought it out of you. How can somebody maybe look deep inside and bring it, like, because you've always had it.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have been able to recognize it and look deep into yourself if say you never had that teacher? You see what I'm saying? Like, would you have been able to figure it out on your own? And if so, anything that maybe somebody can pick up from that?
You know, I think I would have. He definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah, sped it up, right?
He sped it up quick, because there were times where I'm sitting in these classes and I'm just like, damn, like, why the fuck am I with these people, right? And,
yeah, like, I'm low key.
And I'm still cool, and I'm still cool with a lot of those people that are in there. Like,
yeah,
you know, I love y'all to death, but
yeah,
sometimes I'd be like, fuck, like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
You knew you were selling yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until after, way after I joined car sales, and I was 23 when I joined car sales. Like, I didn't really even know. I didn't have any direction.
Yeah, I guess why we said, the bad kid is because we actually went to a continuation school where they were, it was the bad kids, you know?
Yeah.
They made a documentary on us, the bad kids.
It's literally called the bad kids.
The bad kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a documentary made in high school, and it was kind of funny. But I don't know where I was going with that, but sorry about that.
No.
There's another question on there, right? It says, what about retirement?
Oh, let's see. Also try to turn off your emotions. What about retirement? Yeah.
So, you know, retirement, I think, is very important, right? And, you know, like, just like we were talking about yesterday, multiple streams of income to get the things you want and faster, right? We were talking about real estate, right? Buying, like, maybe, like, even, like, a duplex, renting them out, having those pay for it, and then, you know, those are just incomes that you can get.
Yes.
So there's different types of, like, ways you can set yourself up for retirement, right?
Finding
like
passive incomes and whatnot.
I know a lot of people hate it, right? But I personally like 401k.
Okay.
I have my 401k set up. I have a good amount in there, which I'm not going to disclose, right? But I have a good amount saved into my 401k. A lot of people don't like it, right? Because they feel like they can just take their money and invest it elsewhere. But you got to really think, like, these people do this for a living, right? So they can invest it pretty well, right? So there's multiple things that I have. Like, for him, he's 9, right? And tell them what I opened up for you the other day. Remember, with your little card?
The school's first, right?
The school's first account. He
Nice.
has So he has an account to where me and him have to be present at the time when he's 18 for us to be able to take this cash out, right?
Smart.
Initial deposit is $1,000. Every month is $100, and it just slowly builds interest, right? So I think by the time he graduates and he's 18, we're gonna have, I think they said it was gonna be like 50 to 60 grand in there.
Let's
Right?
go.
Nice.
So, you know, it's not like, fuck, let me get to the end of the race quick, but make it small to where you don't feel it.
Yeah.
Every little
right?
bit. Every little bit's gonna help.
I think that's so beautiful too. Like, setting your children up for, like, I don't want to say like you're giving it to them or handing it to them, but you're giving them the tools to go out into this cold world. This world's hard, man. It is hard, and you know, that's just awesome. And then having a great role model to learn from as well. Like,
Absolutely.
that's so powerful, man. I love that.
And just like we were talking about earlier, right? People get into this mindset that it's me. Like, I'm gonna figure it out myself.
Yeah.
You know,
in
I don't need.
competition almost.
Yeah, like, I don't need help from mom and dad. Like, let me fucking figure it out. But it's like, why?
Yeah, why not?
Who the fuck are you trying to prove something to? Like, if you can have, you know, family, like, help you, it's easy.
And it helps
right?
you do more.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it helps you, like, you're gonna start off already with an advantage, and
Yes, man.
and it's like, you know, some people get into this mindset where it's like, why, like, individualism, right? Like,
Yes,
let me
yes.
figure this out myself.
Yeah,
But
lone wolf and
why?
Yeah, it's all glorified on TikTok, Instagram, like the whole I'm a lone wolf, I'm whatever. Like, I've noticed that it actually is glorified, and that's the approach that we're trying to get away from. Is like, if you can achieve your dreams by yourself, they are not big enough. You know, then you're not dreaming big enough, because at the end of the day, we should all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and we should be able to delegate. You handle this, you handle this, you handle that, and work as a team to accomplish a bigger goal. You know, and a bigger end game.
Achieve the vision together for sure.
Let's go. And who wants to be at the top by themselves? The top's lonely, right? You hear that all the time. Like, I want to be there
it's
with my
lonely
people.
at the top. Yeah, exactly.
I want to be there with my people, bro.
Exactly.
Having a nice dinner, overlooking the thing with not only my family, my good close friends, you know what I'm saying? We're all there, man.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Definitely. No, yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've got for you. I really appreciate you for coming by, man. If there's anybody that wants to hear more from Josue, I'm definitely gonna be sharing his links. He's got a really cool marketing piece out right now on Instagram.
Let's go.
I'm impressed because you are a very outspoken person, but yeah, I am impressed by that, and I wasn't why I say that is because I wasn't expecting that out of you to be so camera ready. But yeah, it's awesome.
Savage, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we first started filming, like, you know, I honestly thought it was gonna be 15, like 20 takes.
Yeah.
And I think like after I got the first time, when we went out the first time, he goes, "Damn, bro, like you're really good at this."
Yeah,
like,
natural.
okay, so all right, so now that we got the script down, right, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take a couple steps forward, a couple steps back.
There you go.
You know, this, and that, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I think maybe 5-6 tries we got it out.
That's bad. That's awesome. That's badass, bro.
Yeah, and if you guys do want to hear more from him, even more so, leave some comments in the chat, leave some comments below, and we'd definitely love to have Josue back here, and we can talk a little more questions to be asked, I'm sure.
Plug your Instagram right now, like, or not plug it or anything, but like shout it out, so people, like, you know, if they're hearing, we're gonna have it in the description as well, but your Instagram or whatever.
My IG name is JJOSUEE, and I think I have 3 underscores. Or maybe it's triple E.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but we'll share it there.
It'll be in the description.
We'll share it in the description. Yeah, it's a code. He's speaking in coding for computers or whatever. But again, thanks for checking us out.
Yeah.
See you guys soon.
Later, guys.